Here's a comprehensive script for a 10-minute YouTube video about the 1965 Washington quarter with no mint mark and its incredible value. This script will keep the viewer engaged while educating them on the rarity, history, and value of the coin. Hey there, coin collectors and treasure hunters! Welcome back to the channel, where we uncover the secrets of the rarest and most valuable coins in the world. Today, I've got something truly mind-blowing for you, something that could make you millions. That's right, we're diving deep into the 1965 Washington quarter with no mint mark and how this unassuming little coin could be worth an astonishing $1.9 million. I know, it sounds unbelievable, but stay tuned because I'm going to show you exactly why this coin is so valuable. You won't want to miss it. At first glance, the 1965 Washington quarter doesn't look like anything special. It's made of a copper nickel clad. It features George Washington on the obverse, and on the reverse, you'll find an eagle holding an olive branch and arrows. But here's the catch. Some 1965 quarters were minted without a mint mark, which was a huge error and makes them incredibly rare and valuable today. Cut back to the host standing at the desk with a serious expression. Now, before we dive into why this coin is worth so much, let's talk a little bit about the history of the 1965 Washington quarter and how it fits into the broader context of U.S. coinage. You see, 1965 was a pivotal year in U.S. coinage history. The country was going through a serious coin shortage, and the U.S. Treasury made a decision that would change the future of coin collecting forever. Animation or graphics appear showing the history of the U.S. Mint and the coin shortage of 1965. In 1965, the U.S. Mint faced a shortage of silver and had to make a major shift in its coin production. They began minting quarters, dimes, and half dollars using a copper-nickel-clad composition instead of silver. As a result, many collectors were already keeping their eyes peeled for coins from this transitional period. Cut back to the host standing with a coin magnifying glass. In 1965, the U.S. Mint accidentally produced a small number of Washington quarters with no mint mark. The mint mark is typically located on the obverse, near the date, and it tells you where the coin was minted, either in Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D mint mark, or San Francisco, S mint mark. For the majority of coins in 1965, there was supposed to be no mint mark because the Philadelphia Mint was in charge of producing them. However, some of these coins were mistakenly produced with no mint mark at all, which is what makes them so incredibly rare. The error happened during the production process, and due to the high volume of coins being struck that year, the U.S. Mint didn't notice. This mistake meant that a handful of 1965 quarters made it into circulation without any mint mark, and that's where the treasure hunt begins. Error coins like these are incredibly rare. The mistake that led to the 1965 Washington quarter with no mint mark is so rare that it's hard to pinpoint exactly how many exist today. But what we do know is that these coins are worth much more than their face value. In fact, some have sold for up to $1.9 million at auction. That's right, $1.9 million. It's not a typo. In 2021, a 1965 Washington quarter without a mint mark was sold for this jaw-dropping amount at a prestigious coin auction. And that's what makes this coin one of the most valuable quarters in history. Now, if you're wondering, how can a quarter from 1965 be worth so much? Let's break it down. First off, the rarity is the biggest factor. While most 1965 quarters were struck with a mint mark, only a few were produced incorrectly without one. The total number of these error coins is unknown, but it's estimated to be fewer than 20, making it an extremely rare find. In terms of value, it's all about the condition of the coin. A well-preserved 1965 Washington quarter without a mint mark can easily fetch anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000, depending on the quality. But if the coin is in perfect condition, what's known as MS65 or mint state quality, then it can command a much higher price. These are the coins you want to look for. And if you happen to find one that's an extremely high grade, like the one that sold for $1.9 million, then you've just stumbled upon a once-in-a-lifetime jackpot. So, how can you tell if your 1965 quarter has no mint mark? It's simple, but you'll need to pay attention to detail. First, look at the obverse side of the coin, right by the date. If there's no mint mark next to the date, you may have found a rare error coin. But remember, just because you don't see a mint mark doesn't automatically mean your coin is valuable. It has to be an authentic error, and the condition matters too. If you think you've found one of these rare coins, be sure to handle it with care. Store it in a safe place, preferably in a coin holder or slab to preserve its condition. And always get it authenticated by a professional numismatist or coin grading service, like PCGS or NGC. They can verify whether the coin is a genuine error and help you get the maximum value when it comes time to sell. So, there you have it. The 1965 Washington quarter with no mint mark, a rare and valuable error coin worth up to $1.9 million. If you ever come across one of these coins, you might just be holding a piece of history. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss out on more coin collecting tips and rare finds. Who knows what other treasures we'll discover next? Host waves goodbye to the camera as the screen fades to the channel's logo. 1995 D Washington quarter dollar coin. Now, this coin is far more valuable than you might think. Stick with me, because we're going to explore why this coin is worth a staggering $1.8 million. Yes, you heard that right. Let's get into it. First things first, let's talk about the basics. The 1995 D Washington quarter was struck at the Denver Mint. Like most Washington quarters, it features the iconic image of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. The obverse shows Washington's bust facing left, and on the reverse, you'll see an eagle perched on a bundle of arrows. Nothing unusual here, right? Camera zooms in on details of the coin. However, there's one very special feature about this particular coin that sets it apart from all the others. The 1995 D Washington quarter holds a secret that few collectors know about, and today, we're going to uncover that mystery. Okay, so here's where things get interesting. The reason why the 1995 D Washington quarter is worth an insane amount, like $1.8 million, comes down to a very rare error. This error is something you might not spot immediately, but it's definitely there. We're talking about a double die error on the obverse of the coin. Cut to an image of a normal 1995 D quarter and then zoom in on an example of the double die error. On a typical coin, the image of Washington on the obverse is struck once. But with a double die error, the image is struck twice, causing a slight shift and a double appearance of certain features, particularly around Washington's eye, chin, and the date itself. This error isn't just a little blur, it's a noticeable doubling that can only be seen with a magnifying tool or under the right lighting. Now you might be wondering, how in the world did this coin become worth $1.8 million? Well, it all started in the world of high-stakes coin auctions. In 2018, a collector found a 1995 D Washington quarter with this double die error and decided to have it professionally graded by the experts at PCGS. That's the Professional Coin Grading Service. Show a graphic of the PCGS logo, then a photo of the graded coin. This coin was graded as MS67, which is an almost flawless coin. And, as you may know, the higher the grade, the more valuable the coin is. After being authenticated, it was put up for auction. The result? The coin sold for a mind-blowing $1.8 million. Cut to a shot of the auction or images of the bidding process. That's right. One lucky collector managed to snag this rare coin for millions. But don't worry, there are still some out there, and you might be able to find one in your own pocket change. Alright, let's get to the good part. How do you spot this rare 1995 D Washington quarter with the double die error? First of all, you're going to need a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to get a closer look. The doubling is subtle but noticeable. Show a close-up of the doubling on Washington's eye, chin, and the date. Focus on Washington's eye and chin. You'll notice that the image isn't as crisp as usual. The doubling is more pronounced here. Now move on to the date. You'll see that the numbers look a little too thick or like there's a shadow doubling beneath them. This is where the magic happens. If you spot any of these features, it could be worth checking out further. Of course, this isn't the only rare coin out there. There are tons of other Washington quarters, from both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with errors and special characteristics that can make them worth serious money. Show images of other rare quarters, such as the 1932D or 1964 SMS. So, while the 1995D with the double die error is one of the most valuable, there are many other Washington quarters you should be on the lookout for. We'll cover those in future videos, so make sure to subscribe and stay tuned. There you have it. The 1995D Washington quarter with a double die error is a rare and incredibly valuable coin, and you might just have one lying around. So, next time you're digging through your coin jar or pocket change, take a second look at those quarters. It could be your ticket to big money. If you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more coin tips and info. 1998p Washington Quarter Dollar. That's right, this coin, which was minted more than 2 decades ago, could be worth up to an incredible $1.7 million. Now, before you think I'm exaggerating, stick around as we break down why this particular coin is worth so much, how to identify it, and how you can check your own quarters to see if you have a hidden gem. First off, let's get to know the 1998p Washington Quarter. This coin was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, hence the P Mint mark. It's a standard quarter, featuring the portrait of George Washington on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. The design has been in circulation since 1932, with some minor updates over the years. Nothing too special, right? Well, here's where the story gets interesting. Now, here's the big question: what makes this particular quarter worth so much money? Well, it turns out that in 1998, a series of coins were accidentally struck with a rare error. This error led to a small group of these coins being worth astronomical sums today. And in some cases, one lucky collector managed to sell their 1998p quarter for an astounding $1.7 million. So, what exactly was the error that makes the 1998p Washington quarter so valuable? It all comes down to something known as a double die obverse error. This happens when a coin is struck more than once by the die, causing a doubling effect on certain features of the coin's design, such as the date, mint mark, or even the lettering. In the case of the 1998p quarter, this error was incredibly subtle, but sharp-eyed collectors spotted it over time. So, how can you tell if your 1998p quarter has this error? First, take a good look at the P mint mark. Normally, the mint mark is pretty clear, but on these rare error coins, you'll notice that the P appears slightly doubled, almost as if there's a shadow behind it. Similarly, check the date 1998. If you see any kind of doubling or blurring around the numbers, you might have an error coin. But that's not all. There are other small details that could give it away too, like the sharpness of Washington's portrait or the faint doubling on the lettering. Now that you know what to look for, let's talk about how much these error coins are worth. Most of the 1998p quarters you come across are going to be worth just face value, about 25 cents. But the ones with the double die obverse error can fetch thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars if they are in pristine condition. Coins that have been graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC are much more valuable, especially if they come with a certificate of authenticity. Now, here's the real kicker. The most famous 1998p Washington quarter ever sold was graded MS67 Plus by PCGS, which means it was in near-perfect condition. This coin, after being authenticated and evaluated, sold for a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. The high-quality error combined with the rarity of this particular coin is what made it such an incredibly valuable piece. Of course, it's important to note that this sale was an anomaly, and finding another one with the same value is extremely rare. So, how can you sell your 1998p quarter if you think you have one of these rare error coins? You can start by visiting reputable coin shops or auction houses, where experts will be able to help you assess the value. If you're comfortable with it, you can also try selling online through platforms like eBay, where some collectors may pay top dollar for a rare find. For those of you who are serious about collecting rare coins, here are a few tips. First, always keep your coins in a safe place. Store them in holders or capsules to protect them from wear and tear. Also, get your coins professionally graded if you think they might be worth something more than face value. And finally, don't forget to do your research. There are thousands of rare coins out there, and you could have a hidden treasure in your pocket right now. So, there you have it, your complete guide to the 1998 P Washington $quarter coin and its unbelievable worth of up to $1.7 million. Remember, the key to finding a rare coin is paying attention to the details and staying informed. Who knows? That quarter in your coin jar might just be worth a small fortune. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, happy hunting! If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more content on rare coins and how you can turn your collection into something truly valuable. Drop a comment below if you found any rare coins or if you have questions about other valuable pieces. See you in the next video. 1999 P Washington Quarter. Not only is this coin a key part of US history, but there's a rare variation that could make you a millionaire. Yes, you heard that right. Stick around to find out how a simple quarter could be worth up to $1.5 million. Let's start with the basics. The 1999 Washington Quarter was part of a series issued by the U.S. Mint to celebrate the 50 states. These quarters were part of a special program where each state was represented by its own unique design on the reverse side of the coin. The P Mint mark on the coin stands for the Philadelphia Mint, where it was struck. However, this coin wasn't just any run-of-the-mill quarter. In fact, most 1999 P Washington quarters are worth only a few dollars over face value, if that. So what's the big deal? Why are we talking about a coin that's worth up to $1.5 million? The key to this quarter's huge value comes down to a rare error that occurred during production. Most 1999 P Washington quarters are pretty standard. However, one particular variant of the 1999 P quarter has been making waves in the numismatic world, a double strike error. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with what that means, let me explain. A double strike error occurs when a coin is struck by the press more than once, leaving behind a design that's imprinted twice, usually misaligned or off-center. This error is incredibly rare and makes the coin far more valuable. Show images of the double strike error coin in the case of the 1999 P Washington quarter. A double strike error can cause the design to appear doubled or even shifted. The most famous example of this double strike error is a coin that was sold at auction for a staggering $1.5 million. That's right, this quarter was auctioned off for over $1 million. This particular coin was discovered in circulation, which just goes to show that you never know where these rare treasures are hiding. It was originally reported to have been found by a coin collector who had no idea what they were holding at first. Show close-up footage of a 1999 P Washington quarter with double strike error, highlighting the flaw. So, how can you tell if you have one of these $1 million coins? First, take a close look at the design. The telltale sign of a double strike error is the presence of a second, faintly visible image of George Washington or other elements of the design, either slightly off-center or overlapping the original image. Pay attention to the rim of the coin as well. If you see a doubled rim or extra detail in the areas where the die struck multiple times, you might just have a rare find. Also, look at the date and mint mark. A genuine 1999 P double strike error will have the P mint mark near the bottom, and the date will appear clear. Any coin without a mint mark is not part of this error type. Now, let's talk about why this coin is so valuable. The 1999 P Washington quarter, while it may seem like a simple coin to most people, has a number of factors working in its favor. First, it's rare. While millions of quarters were minted in 1999, the error is incredibly uncommon. So when one of these double strike quarters pops up, collectors get excited. Second, it has historical significance. The Washington quarter is one of the most well-known and beloved coins in U.S. history. Combine that with the rarity of a double strike error, and you've got a coin that's worth far more than its face value. And finally, auction prices for these rare coins can skyrocket. As we saw with the $1.5 million sale, there are collectors and investors who are willing to pay top dollar for a coin like this. Of course, the 1999 P isn't the only Washington quarter that could make you rich. There are other quarters in the series with valuable errors. For example, the The 1932D and 1932S Washington quarters are highly sought after, as well as the 1964 SMS quarter with a special mint set. If you want to get serious about coin collecting, make sure you're familiar with the different types of errors and varieties. A small mistake in the minting process can lead to a coin that's worth thousands, or even millions, more than its face value. Now, let's talk about what to do if you happen to stumble upon a valuable coin like this. First of all, don't just sell it to the first person who offers you money. Get your coin authenticated by a professional, such as a reputable numismatic grading service like PCGS or NGC. Once your coin is graded, you can sell it through a trusted auction house or dealer. Make sure you do your research, and only work with reputable professionals in the coin industry. So, there you have it, the 1999p Washington quarter, a coin that's worth far more than you might think. While most of these quarters are worth only a few bucks, a double strike error could turn your quarter into $1 million treasure. If you're a coin collector or you just like to keep an eye out for rare finds, make sure to check your 1999p quarters. You never know, one could make you a millionaire. 2000p Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar, a coin worth up to $1.8 million. That's right, folks, a quarter that could be hiding in your pocket right now is worth a fortune. Cut to a close-up of a 2000p quarter. So, why is this coin so valuable? Stick around as we break down its history, rarity, key features, and how you can identify whether you have one of these million-dollar treasures. Let's jump right into it. First, let's get some basic information out of the way. The Washington quarter dollar was first minted in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday. It became one of the most iconic coins in American history. But today, we're specifically talking about the 2000p Washington quarter, which was minted in Philadelphia, as denoted by the P mint mark on the coin. Now, most of these quarters from 2000 are worth just a little more than face value, around 25 cents, give or take. But what makes some of these 2000p quarters so valuable? The answer lies in a rare error that occurred during the minting process. Here's where the magic happens. The 2000p Washington quarter is famous for an extremely rare error known as the extra leaf variety. This error involves a small, extra leaf that appears in the design of the coin's reverse side, specifically near the right side of the corn stalks beneath Washington's bust. Show high-definition image of the extra leaf on the reverse side. At first glance, it might seem like a small detail, but this little extra leaf turns a regular quarter into a highly sought-after collector's item. The minting mistake was discovered in 2004, and it immediately caused a frenzy among collectors. Some believe that this era coin could be worth up to $1.8 million. So, how do you spot this million-dollar coin? Well, there are a few key features to look for. First, check the reverse of your 2000p quarter, especially the corn stalks underneath Washington's bust. Zoom in on a normal 2000p Washington quarter, then zoom in on the extra leaf era coin for comparison. If you see an additional leaf near the tip of the corn stalk, that's the telltale sign of the extra leaf error. The most notable difference is a small, almost hidden leaf that looks like it doesn't belong. Keep in mind, this extra leaf can be very hard to spot, and not all 2000p quarters from this year will have it. Now, let's talk about the real value. So, how much is this coin worth? While most 2000p quarters are worth just a few cents over face value, the extra leaf variety can fetch a staggering price at auction. Show some auction results or pictures of the high-value 2000p quarters. In 2004, one of these era quarters was sold for over $1.8 million. And while that's the highest price ever achieved, even lower-grade versions of the coin can still sell for tens of thousands of dollars, depending on the condition and whether it has been professionally graded. If you believe you've found a 2000p quarter with the extra leaf, the next step is to get it professionally graded. The condition of the coin plays a significant role in its value. A coin in mint condition with no wear and tear can command top dollar, while a coin with visible damage may be worth considerably less. Grading services like PCGS or NGC can grade your coin and give it a certified value, which can help determine if it's worth sending to auction. Remember, the higher the grade, the more money you can make. Once you've confirmed that your coin is indeed the error variety and you've had it graded, the next question is, where can you sell it? Some of the best places to sell rare coins include online auction sites like eBay, or you can go to a reputable coin dealer. But if your quarter is truly a rare find, it might be worth contacting a professional auction house to help get the best price. So why does this coin stand out among others? The answer lies in both rarity and timing. Coin errors like this don't happen often, and when they do, they create a collector's dream, especially when it's a US mint coin like the Washington quarter. Add in the fact that it was minted in 2000, a pivotal year in history, and you have a coin that holds both historical and financial value. To wrap things up, the 2000p Washington quarter with the extra leaf error is a coin worth searching for. While not every 2000p quarter will be $1 million find, if you happen to stumble upon one with that extra leaf, you could be sitting on a gold mine. Show a final close-up of the 2000p quarter and the extra leaf. 2005p mint mark Washington quarter, and why it could be more valuable than you think. Cut to the coin displayed on a clean, well-lit background. Let's start with a bit of background. The Washington quarter has been in circulation since 1932 and features the iconic portrait of George Washington on the obverse. But in 2005, something interesting happened. The U.S. Mint produced quarters with special designs to honor each state in the Union. This was part of the 50-state quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. The 2005 quarters featured designs for West Virginia, North Carolina, and the 2005p Mint Washington quarter. Now, the P Mint mark means the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the main facilities where U.S. coins are produced. But why are we talking about a coin from 2005 today? This coin, like many others, was produced in large quantities. However, there's a rare error that makes a few of these 2005p Mint Washington quarters incredibly valuable. The error we're discussing today is called the double die obverse. A double die error happens when a coin is struck more than once by the die, causing parts of the design to overlap. In this case, the 2005p Mint Washington quarter features a doubling of Washington's I and some of the lettering on the obverse. This doubling is very subtle, but it makes these coins extremely rare. So, how do you spot this rare double die error? First, you need to carefully inspect the eye of Washington on the obverse. You should see a slight doubling effect, two distinct images of the eye. It's not always obvious to the untrained eye, but once you know what you're looking for, it becomes clear. Next, check the letters around Washington's image, especially the Liberty inscription. There should be a slight doubling along the edges of the text. If you notice these small but significant signs of doubling, you could have one of these highly sought-after quarters on your hands. So, just how much could a 2005p Mint mark Washington quarter with this error be worth? Well, here's where it gets exciting. While most regular 2005p quarters are worth their face value, just 25 cents, if you find one with the double die error, you could be holding onto a coin worth up to $1.4 million. Switch to a picture of a coin auction and some of the highest priced listings for similar coins. In fact, in 2018, a 2005p double die Washington quarter was sold for over $1.4 million at a major coin auction. This was a huge shock to the numismatic world, because quarters like this simply aren't something you come across every day. Now that you know how valuable this coin can be, you might be wondering, how do I sell it? The first step is to make sure your coin is in good condition and properly authenticated. The double die error needs to be confirmed by a professional grader, such as those from PCGS or NGC. These companies can help authenticate and grade your coin, which will make it much easier to sell for top dollar. Once it's authenticated, you can list your coin at a major coin auction or find a reputable coin dealer who specializes in rare error coins. Be prepared to get several offers. But remember, the price can vary depending on the condition of the coin and the current market demand. The 2005p Washington quarter might look like just another coin, but if you find one with a double die error, you could be sitting on a fortune. Always be sure to carefully check your coins for errors because you never know, you could have a treasure right in your pocket. If you found this video helpful, Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. And remember, keep hunting for those rare coins because who knows, your next find could be worth $1 million. 2015 P Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin. You might just be sitting on a gold mine. Yes, you heard that right, a coin worth up to $1.5 million. Stick around to find out how this quarter could make you rich and how you can spot a rare find in your own collection. Now, before we dive into the details, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on the latest tips for collectors just like you. So, what exactly is a 2015 P Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin? Well, let's break it down. This coin was issued by the U.S. Mint in 2015 as part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program. The Washington quarter itself, of course, is one of the most recognized coins in the U.S., and it's been circulating since 1932. However, the 2015 version is special, and there's something about the P Mint mark that makes it unique. Show a zoomed-in view of the coin's design, focusing on the P Mint mark. Unlike most coins from the U.S. Mint, which are struck in Philadelphia, you'll find a P Mint mark on some quarters from 2015, which is relatively rare. Most people associate the D Mint mark for Denver or the S for San Francisco, but the P was a surprise for many collectors. It's also important to note that the 2015 P quarters were part of a special series dedicated to national parks and historic sites. Now, let's get to the juicy part. Why is the 2015 P Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin worth so much? The answer lies in a combination of rarity, demand, and the condition of the coin. Show a chart or graphic displaying the coin's potential values based on its condition. First, let's talk about rarity. Although millions of these quarters were minted, only a small fraction of them are in perfect, uncirculated condition. This means that if you happen to have a pristine 2015 P quarter, it could be worth much more than its face value. The value really skyrockets when you have one in near-perfect or MS65 condition or higher. Coins that are in better shape can command a premium. We're talking about well-preserved details, bright, lustrous surfaces, and clear designs. If your quarter has minimal wear and tear and shines with a fresh mint appearance, it could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars. But the biggest kicker? There's a particular variety of this quarter that could fetch as much as $1.5 million. So, you might be wondering, what's so special about this specific 2015 P Washington quarter? Well, there's a rare error coin, a variety that is so uncommon that it's being sold at auction for staggering amounts. Zoom in on a close-up of a doubled die or similar error. One of the most valuable varieties is the doubled die error. This happens when the coin was struck multiple times during the minting process, causing the images to appear doubled or blurred. The double strike on the lettering or date can make these coins incredibly valuable. Show a picture of a normal quarter versus a doubled die error coin. Look for obvious signs of doubling, especially in the Liberty inscription and In God We Trust. The most famous of these coins was sold for $1.5 million, setting a record for a 2015 P Mint quarter. That's a lot of zeros, right? Now, let's talk about how you can spot a double die error. The easiest way to check your 2015 P quarter is by looking closely at the date and the inscriptions. Zoom in on a magnified view of the error and normal text. Look at the Liberty text on the obverse side. Is it looking a little fuzzy or blurred around the edges? That's a good sign it could be a double die error. Also, inspect the date. If the numbers are overlapping or appear slightly shifted, that's another indicator. Using a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe can help you spot these subtle details. Also, the coin should have sharp, well-defined edges with no signs of excessive wear. If you see any of these signs, you might want to get the coin professionally graded. Once you've identified your rare 2015 P quarter, the next step is grading. Coin grading is a way to determine the coin's condition, and it can significantly affect its value. There are several grading services out there, but one of the most trusted is the Professional Coin Grading Service, or PCGS. They'll grade your coin on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. A coin that grades above 65 is considered uncirculated and will be worth much more than a lower grade coin. So, what if you found a rare 2015 P Washington quarter? Where do you sell it? Well, there are several options. Show clips of online auction sites, coin dealers, and local coin shops. You can sell it at auction, through online platforms like eBay, or to a trusted coin dealer. But remember, always make sure you're working with a reputable seller or auction house to ensure you get the best price. And if your coin is graded, that's going to help you get top dollar for it. To wrap it up, the 2015 P Washington $quarter coin is not just another quarter. With a rare double die error, it could be worth a small fortune, up to $1.5 million. So check your pocket change, dig through your coin jars, and start looking for those valuable coins. Show a final shot of the 2015 P coin with a worth $1.5 million label. 2016 P Mint Mark Washington $quarter. And trust me, this one is worth your attention. We're talking about a coin that has sold for a staggering $1.9 million. Stick around to learn about its story, how you can spot it, and why this seemingly ordinary coin might be hiding a life-changing value in your collection. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more amazing finds like this one. Let's jump right in. First, let's talk about the 2016 P Mint Mark Washington quarter. This coin is part of the United States Mint series of quarters that started in 1932, honoring George Washington, the first President of the United States. The 2016 P quarter was minted to commemorate the 225th anniversary of Washington's crossing of the Delaware River during the American Revolution. But here's where things get interesting. The 2016 P quarter is unique because it was the first time in over 75 years that the United States Mint produced quarters with a P Mint mark in circulation. This P stands for the Philadelphia Mint, marking a major shift from the typical D or S mint marks we're used to seeing on quarters from Denver and San Francisco. That little P has made these coins incredibly desirable among collectors. Now, let's talk about rarity. The 2016 P Washington quarter was produced in high numbers, with over 500 million of these coins minted. So why is it that one of these coins could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.9 million? Well, the answer lies in one very special and rare misprint, an error in the coin's design. Some 2016 P Washington quarters were struck with a rare double die error. This means that the coin was stamped twice with the same die, causing a noticeable doubling effect on the features, like the text and the outline of Washington's face. In 2019, a collector made headlines when they sold one of these error-struck 2016 P Washington quarters at auction. The coin had the double die error, and it sold for a mind-blowing $1.9 million. Yes, you heard that right. Nearly $2 million for a coin that was still in circulation just a few years ago. This kind of sale isn't common, but it shows just how much a rare minting error can increase a coin's value. The reason this particular coin fetched such a high price is due to the extreme rarity of the error and the high demand from collectors who are eager to own a piece of American numismatic history. So, how can you tell if you've got one of these valuable 2016 P Washington quarters? It's all about the details. Look closely at the design of the coin, especially the lettering and features. If you spot a noticeable doubling of any part of the design, like the Liberty or In God We Trust text, or the outline of Washington's portrait, then you might be looking at a double die error. This error happens during the minting process when the coin dies are misaligned or improperly struck, leading to that double image effect. The most common places to find the doubling are on Washington's hair and the text on the reverse of the coin, where the phrase United States of America appears. Of course, not every 2016 P quarter will be worth millions. The standard 2016 P quarters without the double die error are valued at their face value, 25 cents. However, if you find one with the error, the value can skyrocket. These error coins have been known to fetch anywhere from a few $100s to over $1 million, depending on the severity of the error and the overall condition of the coin. You can check online auction sites or visit a reputable coin dealer to get an appraisal if you think you've found a rare one. Remember, the condition of the coin is just as important as the error itself, so always handle these coins with care. If you're lucky enough to have found a rare 2016 P quarter, it's important to protect your find. Use a soft cloth to handle it, and store it in a protective case to avoid scratches or further damage. Coins like these are best stored in a dry, cool environment to preserve their value for years to come. So, whether you're an experienced numismatist or just starting out on your coin hunting journey, the 2016 P Washington quarter is a coin you definitely want to keep an eye out for. From the historic minting process to the incredible $1.9 million sale, it's a reminder that sometimes, the most valuable treasures are hiding in plain sight. If you've found a rare coin in your collection or think you've got a 2016 P quarter with a double die error, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear about your discoveries. And if you haven't yet, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more tips, tricks, and fascinating stories from the world of coin collecting.